You start off by making a detective and then begin your journey in his or her apartment. But your gender won't matter because the game will forget it often. Your answering machine also doesn't matter, and neither do the many strange messages on it. Sometimes these messages beg you to go outside, but you can only leave when you have specific work instances or a date. And something's clearly wrong with your stuff. It looks like someone's been messing with it, but you can't look into that either, because doing that would be too much detectiving for a detective. Your first job is to free a molester from a virtual prison. He went to go play a game called Twisted and Perverted. He got stuck stabbing a lady there more than he wants to, and he can't log out due to an exploit. Your employer is his rich daddy, who just knows his little boy could do no wrong ever, despite evidence to the contrary. He even likes to tell waitresses this. While in your boss's office, you also can save the escort who's trapped there with him, and save your boss's digital doting sex slave from him, which he modeled on his drunk wife. As you attempt to save the boy from being too aroused by murdering an innocent, you can also do side quests. These side quests are various, and some may get NPCs to help you later on, but all of the side quests are fairly dull or just so random. For example, Bob wants to know if his wife is doing digitally perverted things. It turns out that he wouldn't like that she's into QA. His wife is loyal, but she does work in video games he wouldn't approve of. He's a stickler for morals, and she'll help you if you side with her and lie to him. He'll still help you if you lie to him too, because relationship counseling is for suckers apparently. This is the best option. You can also get a TNP death due to a troll dressed as a unicorn using an exploit when you pick a card, but no worries. It's just a game death in a game for your game deck. There are many more such side quests, such as whether or not you want to join a cult, get stabbed, or do a stab. You can also get a temporary companion, but he may just shoot you in-game if you try to recruit him if you choose the wrong options. It doesn't matter much whether or not he joins you though, unless you want to bang him, and possibly have your Smart Houses AI join in. Eventually, you can get to the young and murderous molester, but you don't have to save this teenager. You can be judge, jury, and executioner, although technically someone else will be doing the executing. The person behind it all, someone in a jester costume, encourages you to be harsh for the greater good to save women folk, because he says you'll be responsible if the kid hurts anyone else, which he will. But the jester just really wants to blackmail the teenager's dad for his own reasons. Because the authorities are for suckers apparently, you can't just contact them. You can tackily report the crimes as an infotainer though. After all, you have to make reporting on molesting fun if you're going to report it. Your next job is to totally not play Farmville. The meta commentary on Facebook games is a little fun, but it is drawn out. In Harvest Time, your client wants you to figure out why gaming for days just on energy drinks and vitamins alone is causing he and his friends consciousness problems. This seems idiotic until you realize he's just a little kid. Then you know it's idiotic. He and his friends are being worked to death by a teenager. They harvest loot boxes in Harvest Time using a speed exploit, which also makes everything all the more exhausting and dangerous for them. After all, the human body can only live on energy drinks and vitamins for so long before it's just a body. After a little investigation, it turns out that the game's sheriff is played by the kid's boss. You can beat him in-game to trace his real location and get his in-game job in the process. Getting his job makes you in-game rich, and stuff can be sold for real money, too. But that doesn't matter since you like money. You still must work always, and this doesn't seem to really change much about your life. And if you donate it, there's not really much of a reaction from the kids. And if you choose not to donate it, you can't change your mind later, because after all, if you have money, how can you donate it? When you hunt down this teenager outside of Harvest Time and free the kids, or not, it's up to you, but kind of not up to you too, because I did save those kids, but the game couldn't make up its mind about if I did or not. A lady promised to make things right, and she had been behind the charity that got scammed and looped these kids into trouble. Okay, I thought if she wants to fix it, that'd be great. And the game said okay to my choice, but also not okay. They're now Schrodinger's kids. Similarly, you can punish the teenager who used the little kids, or not. The game will state that punishing him kills him and you're a murderer. It will also say that punishing him didn't kill him and that you're a very nonviolent person who's never done a murder. So if you attempt to give him karmic justice by making him undergo the same speed exploit that he did to the kids, he's now also a part of Schrodinger's minors. After this case with the kids is done, you're invited to a bar. Your bar time turns into a death investigation for the person who invited you. Your character cares a little bit. Ken really wasn't around long, so it seems weird and abrupt for him to die now. Now his death investigation reveals that someone killed him in a weird way, and it's tied to a mysterious tree. tree, as well as a cult that's obsessed with this tree. So naturally, now it's time to go to Samurai World, aka Knight's Code, the headquarters of the cult. You've got to join and find that tree. You may have turned down joining it twice already, but you've got to join now. After running around, doing quests in Samurai World, such as helping people find their friend who's been turned into a bamboo mat and likes it, you can learn more about Ken and his death. You learn that Ken walked into the mysterious tree and then died shortly afterward, but that it likely wasn't the tree's fault. There are also some hints about a mysterious entity and someone or something called 314. The cult also turns out to be led by a money-grubbing manipulator. In turn, that cult leader answers to the Jester, the same figure you met earlier who was the antagonist in the Save the Molester quest. You can also do more side quests, but they don't matter and easily can be bugged out. I could complete very few quests here, but thankfully, like I said, the quests don't really matter. For example, I put down a meditation bowl, couldn't interact with it, but the epilogue still thought I had. So I didn't miss out on much by being surrounded by bugs. Once you can step into the tree, you meet a mysterious woman named 314. Meeting her there makes the Jester mad. She says she died and spread her consciousness across existence. So you see her as a hallucination. Then you're in your apartment. Afterward, you speak with the molester's rich dad because he's upset that his digital slave mistress AI is missing. You now enter a maze called Axis Mundi, learn more, and solve puzzles to exit the maze. During this, you eventually learn that 314 uses the tree, which is a mysterious game editor. Then you and she have another chat in your apartment, and 314 is you! Life is a simulation. Your consciousness has been being repeated, but during one reset, you hid in the tree, and that meant that that version of you survived. The other 313 were not so fortunate, and your true self is split. If something happens to you, there'll simply be another numbered game deck. However, even this is convoluted because you supposedly also have a connection to Eleanor. She mentions that when you escape Axis Mundi. So, are you Eleanor and 314? Probably not, since Eleanor is based on the director's actual wife, and you're a separate piece of code, a game deck. 314 was also a game deck. The plot even reveals that if you get reset, more numbered game decks will follow your own existence because the you with your memories will cease to exist. The supposed real Eleanor also appears at the party, though you can't speak with her. She also appears in his office as a simulated Eleanor, but you can't speak with her either. Not about anything serious anyway. And yet you two are supposed to have a mysterious connection, and sometimes she thinks you do and sometimes she doesn't. Meanwhile, the Jester is the AI controlling everything. He's the overseer. He's trying to keep everything running smoothly, and he kills those who get too close to the truth, or he resets the simulation when necessary. You can either side with this guy, who clearly wants to kill you, or you can take your own side. After this choice, you head to the vault. People from actual reality are popping in for a meeting to raise their stock price. Your life turns out to be a simulation controlled by corporations. They're controlling your so-called reality and everybody in it to get money, because of course they are. A corporation's got a corp. Their big meeting was scheduled months in advance, so although you can cause havoc, they don't cancel or reschedule since it would look bad. Instead, they simply hope to kill 314 and to do that with your cooperation. They hope to get you to help kill yourself. It's not a great plan, but you can go along with it if you want to, sort of. 314 will control you regardless. You can also wave to an amnesiac Ken as you go along. He didn't really die so much as get reset. That's how the simulation works. Though oddly, he's not Ken 2 or something, he's just good old Ken. In fact, though he didn't die in the tree, he'll even remember you shortly for no apparent reason. In the vault, you find a special powerful chair and can sit in it. Once you're in it, you go to a place called Paradise Beach, where the president of the corporation and other influential folks are. With 314's help, you can decide to murder them, or not. Afterward, you go to a place called Happy Hunting Grounds, where past NPCs have been brought back and have their memories. This is when you can say hi to Ken again and he'll remember you now, for like 10 seconds until he dies again. OMG, they killed Kenny! Once you go through some very minor hoops, then you're given 6 choices by Jester. Each choice represents one of the 6 possible endings of the game. None of these choices are great, and you must pick one. A couple have the condition that you had to have killed someone. I wasn't pleased with these endings, so I waited to see if this was one of those games where being patient progressed the plot after time passed. I walked away from the computer and let my character stand there for 27 minutes. The answer? You must pick one of the following 6 choices. 1. Slavery. If you never killed anyone, you can replace Jester and become the new simulation overlord. You would basically be a corporate slave, but a corporate man says you should call the slavery position goddess, or if you're a male, god. 2. Death and slavery. You can let everyone live out their lives in a more lifelike simulation, where resets don't occur, and that means death becomes permanent. You also must live there until you die. 3. Apocalypse option. You can turn off the simulation and kill everybody in it, every man, woman, and child and animal, yourself included. 4. If you killed somebody, and the game realizes this instead of being unsure if murder is murder, then you can escape the simulation. Your freedom is allowed since your corporate masters feel comfortable about letting you loose. They figure that since they'll have blackmail on you, everything will be fine, which doesn't quite make sense since you could always claim this or that in court and still get the company and your corporate masters in trouble. This is especially true if you have Vox Populi skills and other similar abilities. Your skills don't matter now, though. While the corporate man says they'll know if you tell, nothing he says seems solid, considering that you have detective skills which are boosted by a past iteration if you merged with her, thus you have the experience of 2 lifetimes of detectiving. It seems plausible that you could thwart their efforts if you want to. Plus, oddly, if you slaughtered the CEO, then he will still appear here. He'll be absolutely fine, even though he's also supposed to be very dead. You saw him splat. He supposedly died for real due to a program exploit you used if you used it. This is likely a major glitch and not a weird hint of some sort. My guess is that the devs didn't consider that choosing freedom could still be done if you killed the CEO, and that someone else should probably give the dastardly monologue about how you'll never be truly free. 5. Become a ghost in the machine. +1. You disperse your consciousness like 314 did. Ghost twinsies. 6. Status quo. You just reincarnate in the new reset and nothing changes. And that's it. Those are the 6 endings. And
that's all, folks.